Cormorants are versatile birds that do it all. They thrive in a variety of climates and altitudes. They perch in trees, congregate on cliffs. They fly. Some species even make short migrations. And they are skilled divers. They use their feet to propel themselves as they chase fish, and are indiscriminate in which species they eat. Big or small, they'll take whatever they can get down. The hook on the edge of their bill helps them to make their catch, and they'll forage in both freshwater and saltwater. Despite being a bird with feet placed farther back on their bodies for diving, they're still able to walk on land. As someone who loves all birds, it surprised me to learn that this bird has been maligned throughout history and seen as a symbol of greed, gluttony, and evil. To me, they're beautiful birds with aquamarine eyes and a yellow-orange throat pouch that I see rather infrequently. I'm referring to the double-crested cormorant here. Sometimes I catch a glimpse of a neck and head sticking out of the water, or see them standing on the shore with wings outstretched to dry. What's not to like, I wondered. Cormorants are just being cormorants. So why the pejorative labels? They have a high metabolic rate, raise more chicks than most other birds, and eat more fish than other birds their size. In addition, they are seen as a threat to the fishing industry, as owners of salmon, trout, and catfish farms have blamed hungry cormorants for the loss of fish, and thus loss of profit. Open aquaculture ponds provide a bounty for migrating and resident cormorants, costing fisheries millions of dollars annually. Such conflict has led to cormorant culling, both killing of the birds and destruction of their eggs. This scenario and result have occurred in many countries around the world. On the islands off of Peru, in the 1800s, the Guanay cormorant became known as the most valuable bird in the world, and even nicknamed the billion-dollar bird. And why, you may ask? Well, because of its guano, which made an amazing fertilizer for crops. The birds eat a diet of anchovy-like fish, which makes their poop rich in nitrogen and phosphorus, nutrients that were sorely lacking in depleted soils at that time. What about cows and horses? Their contributions didn't do the job? The cormorant variety was far superior to the plant-based diet of cows and horses. Plus, the poop and pee of birds are combined into one package, making their droppings more potent than your average cow patty. But there's a dark side to this crappy situation. The harvesting of the guano was dangerous and dirty work. It made the workers a sum of money that they'd be hard-pressed to make otherwise. It was even the main source of revenue for the country of Peru at that time. However, the nests of the Guanay cormorants are made of guano and feathers and other debris, so the harvesting naturally led to breeding failures and destruction of breeding habitat. By 1870, most of the guano had been mined, and a few decades later, the government started protecting the remaining cormorants. By this point, you might be thinking, hey, Birdie, this is all kind of depressing. Can't you lighten this up? Like, the inside of the double-crested cormorant's mouth is bright blue, or they sound like pigs when they vocalize. Maybe some lighter fare like that? Well, I have one more tale to tell. Once again, cormorants were just being the fishing experts that they were when people came up with the idea to use that skill to their advantage. Thus, in ancient China and Japan and in other places, cormorant fishing was born. Here's how it works. Cormorants are trained from a young age to bond with people through a gradual reward system. Once they reach a certain age, a band is placed around their neck, preventing them from swallowing larger fish, though they can still eat smaller fish at this time. The fishermen set out with their birds and lure the fish with lights from a hanging wood fire or lantern, and also by agitating the surface of the water. This also encourages the birds to dive. Once a catch is made, the bird returns and the fish is removed from their throat. They are then rewarded for their efforts with a smaller fish to eat. This practice is easily 1,300 years old and is still practiced in Japan today and is a major tourist draw. It is the subject of much controversy. Some call it cruel, though those who practice it say they feel a bond with their birds, much like a falconer has with their raptor. Have you ever seen this practice before? If you have, let me know what it was like. Who knew there was so much history behind this fish-eating bird of coastlines and waterways? What kind of cormorant do you have in your area? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. That's all for this time. I'll see you again soon.